Happy day students, welcome to class 10 physics, chapter 11 human eye and colorful world. In previous chapter we have discussed about detailing reflection and refraction in a medium level, and also in this chapter we are going to discuss about example of real life, right? So what we have discussed in the previous cases, reflection and refraction, it is taking place in a convex and concave mirror, and also we have discussed a glass slab. And in this chapter we are going to discuss about glass prism. So you are saying this is the prism. If you are taking a prism, we have to consider a incident ray. The incident ray in this path, it is incident on the glass prism. So the incident ray which is incident on this point P, and it is refracted through this medium. So this medium is what? Solid prism, right? This medium is what? Solid prism. And it is refracted again in the second point Q, and it is emergent in the other side of the medium. So we can say that it is the for one medium, this is the second medium, and this is a same first medium, because you know this is the air medium, this is a solid medium, and this is also air medium. So what it means that when it is incident on the solid prism, it is refracted inside it, again it is emergent on the other side. So in this case we can say clearly when the incident ray which is parallel to the emergent ray, and also this refracted ray, the angle R1 and R2, and this point, you know, the point which is extended this line, and this emergent ray also extended and joined this point is what we called it as the angle of deviation. The subtended angle is called what? Angle of deviation, right? So this is actually the this point, that A to B considered as that solid surfaces, the sides of the solid surfaces, and this is a normal for this incident ray, and this is also the normal for refracted ray. So we connected this line in this point. So when a ray of light passes through a glass prism, it gets bent twice at the air, right? It bends twice the air. This is I1 and I2. And glass interface and glass to air interface. So air to glass interface, and then glass to air interface. The emergent ray is deviated by an angle to the incident ray. This angle is called angle of deviation. This angle so now we will come into the point of dispersion of white light by a glass prism. Now I am going to take a glass prism like this. So when a beam of white light which is incident on this glass prism, what happened to this? It dispersing as a spectrum of colors, that means red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So you can see when a beam of light is passed through a glass prism, it is split up into a band of colors called spectrum. This is called dispersion of white light. So the white light which is incident on any glass prism which is dispersing the colors, and it is a dispersion of white light. The spectrum of white color has the colors of violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow and orange and red also. So we called it as shortly WIBGR. Okay, so the red light bends the least and the violet light bends the most. You can see the bending of that these light colors, the light range of colors. The red is the bending of least one, and then violet is the maximum bending of the light. So this we say that the bends is a most in case, actually most of the happen in the indigo and the violet. Now you can see here this prism, right? So this prism, clearly you can understand the range. So what we have previously I have explained here, the incident ray, that is the white beam which is incident on the solid medium. So this is the solid medium, right? So this is air medium, and also this is air medium, right? So the bending of this red is, when compared to the violet, is least, but the range of this red light is high when compared to the violet range, because you know wavelength, we can say the wavelength of this white red color is high when compared to the violet range. So that is, I can say between these band of colors, 4000 range, 4000 Armstrong to 7000 above Armstrong it carries. So that is the wavelength of the recombination of the spectrum of white light produces the white light. What is this? We have used the single prism. Suppose I am combining the two prisms like this. So what it means that suppose I am combining like this, I just induce the white light on this first prism. So this is my first prism, this is my second prism. So it is incident on the white light on the solid prism. It taking a rays, right, the dispersion of white light, so red and violet, and it is emergent in the other medium. Again it is refracted inside the same medium. Same medium means what? The solid prism, right? And also it is emergent the white light. So where you are actually incident the white light, it gives the white light again. So that is what the recombination of the spectrum of white light produces white light. So when a beam of white light is passed through a glass prism, it is split up into its component colors. When these colors are allowed to fall on an inverted glass prism, it recombines to produce white light. Now the rainbow formation, you can see this is the raindrop, right? So raindrop, always we consider this is my raindrop. It's wrong, misconception. Always we should take the raindrop as a sphere. Okay, so see this diagram, the sun, suppose the combination, the season which is actually the raining, simultaneously the sunlight is falls. So what it happens, the rainbow will definitely form in the condition. So the the sunlight which is falls on the any one of the raindrop, so it taking place the refraction inside the raindrop after the internal reflection taking place. This is primary refraction and secondary refraction taking place. Again it is actually refracted and emergent in the other medium. So what it means that it refraction taking place, from the observer you can see the rainbow. A rainbow is a natural spectrum appearing in the sky after a rain shower. It is caused by the dispersion of sunlight by water droplets present in the atmosphere. The water droplets act like small prisms. So even a single water droplets we have to consider as small prism. So they refract and disperse the sunlight, then reflect it internally and finally refract it again. So that's what I told you. It is a primary refraction, the first line, and this is secondary refraction taking place inside it, inside internal reflection taking place. That's what we also called it as internal reflection. Also we called it as total internal reflection. So this is the case in happening in the raindrop, in the light ray which is falls on the raindrop, and due to the dispersion of sunlight and internal reflection by the water droplets we see the rainbow colors. So you can see this is the picture, the light ray which is falls here, and then each color taking place, the first primary refraction, again the secondary refraction, and the third in that third medium, that is the same medium, that this white light actually air medium and it is emergent in the air medium alone, and inside it is the internal reflection. We can say this is what internal reflection taking place inside a raindrop, internal reflection. Understood? Internal reflection. So in this case internal reflection, this first refracted ray is what? The primary and the secondary refraction. Atmospheric refraction. Atmospheric refraction is due to the gradual change in the refractive index of the atmosphere. Why the stars are twinkling when you are observing from the earth? The reason is that it is actually in motion and the reflection taking place, that even the star, the real position, the apparent position, the refractive index increasing of the atmosphere. The refractive index of the atmosphere gradually increases towards the surface of the earth because the hot air above is less dense than the cool air below. So light gradually bends towards the normal. So the real position of the star is different from its apparent position. That's what atmospheric refraction. You can see this is the observer, the refractive index. See here the hotter and cooler part, the ray path which is actually taking place, the original position of the star is here and the apparent position star is here. So that is the ray path is different. So that is what the atmospheric refraction, the apparent star position due to atmospheric refraction. Twinkling of stars. The twinkling of stars is due to the atmospheric refraction of starlight and due to the changing in the position of the stars and the movement of the layers of the atmosphere. So the light from the stars is sometimes brighter and sometimes fainter, and it appears to twinkle. So here the layers of the atmosphere level from the sky. So from the space, correctly we can say from the space. So from you are observing from the earth, the refraction path, it is actually alterly, it will change its position because of war for what the earth atmosphere with moving pockets of cold and warm air, right? So the planets are closer to the earth than stars. The light from stars are considered as point source of light, and the light from planets are considered as extended source of light. So the light from the planets nullify the twinkling effect. Now you can see here the path of that the observation, the light ray which is falls on this atmosphere, and how we are observing from the earth, because it is transmit through these packets of cold and warm air, right? Next we have that how the advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. So you can understand that in a places it will vary, right? The sunrise, which is the particular second, it will rise and then delay to sunset. The reason there is the sun is visible to us about 2 minutes before sunrise and about 2 minutes after sunset due to atmospheric refraction. You can see that when that the sun whole part we can't see, because before the sun is rising we can see that a bright day, and then if you are observing in the evening time, what you are observing that the sunset timing is different, but after it is reaching even, the sun is setting even, we can see the brightness of the atmosphere level. So what is the reason? Because that refraction, atmospheric refraction taking place. So the sun is sunset, which we are considering the apparent portion and real portion, the atmospheric refraction taking place in all throughout the atmosphere level, right? So the apparent flattening of the sun's disk at sunrise and at sunset is also due to atmospheric refraction. Scattering of light, Tyndall effect. So Tyndall effect is nothing but when a particle is maximum, the light ray falls on it, and the scattering of that light which is spread throughout the atmosphere level. If we are taking any example of any beaker, if you are taking a 1 or 2 beaker, you are using the normal water level. So just take a torchlight or whatever it is, the light ray which is falls on that beaker, what happened, it will somewhat it is refracted inside it. But if you are taking any salt material which is just mix it, what happened to that, you will get the transmit, the scattering of the light which is you will observe in the other side. Okay, so when a beam of light passes through a colloidal solution, the path of light becomes visible due to the scattering of light by the collided particles. This is known as called Tyndall effect. The Earth's atmosphere contains air molecules, water droplets, dust, smoke, etc. When sunlight passes through the atmosphere, the path of the light becomes visible due to what? The scattering of light by these particles. The color of the scattering light depends upon the size of the scattering particles. Very fine particles scatter blue light, large particles scatters different colors of light. So these are some examples for scattering of light. Next we are having, why is the color of the clear sky blue? The fine particles in the atmosphere have size smaller than the wavelength of visible light. Then they can scatter blue light which has a shorter wavelength than red light which has a longer wavelength. When sunlight passes through the atmosphere, the fine particles in the atmosphere scatter the blue color more strongly than the red, and so the sky appears blue. If the earth had no atmosphere, there would not be any scattering of light and the sky would appear dark. The sky appears dark at very high altitudes. So this is what reason, the scattering of white light. White light from the sun is composed all of the colors of the rainbow. Other colors continue more or less unimpeded to the surface. More than 20 miles above earth and the sky is black. Around 80 miles up, light encounters molecules that scatter blue light until it's coming from all parts of the sky. Color of the sky at sunrise and sunset. So sun overhead, just to see this diagram, blue light scattered away, sun appears reddish. and the sun are near the horizon. This is the observer and sun overhead atmosphere. At sunrise and sunset, the sun is near the horizon, and the light from the sun travels through the thicker layers of the atmosphere and longer distance through the atmosphere. Near the horizon, most of the blue light and shorter wavelengths are scattered away by the particles of the air, and the red light and longer wavelengths reaches our eyes. So the sun appears reddish at sunrise and sunset.